Hello. Hello there. How's it going, guys? Thank you for joining in on a Sunday. On a Sunday. Woo. Sunday fun day. It's Sunday again. And then Monday again. And then Sunday again. I know. Thank you for joining in, guys. Sorry. How are you guys doing? Did you guys get some good sleep? Did you guys? You're my favorite special needs streamer. Oh, you are welcome. You know, you're doing. You could better send some gifts if you're going to be saying that, because if I am, I got to see it to believe it. Let me tell you, you better be liking, using your lesbiana buttons, sending me some gifts and whatnot, guys, because don't be telling me that I'm your favorite. But 1111. That's crazy. I love those comments, man. I'm my favorite special needs person, too. Thank you. Hey there, Ms. Lopez. How's it going? Is this Jennifer Lopez, guys? I'm kidding. That was a dad joke. Sorry, guys. I had a lot of caffeine this morning. Hello, Greasy. How's it going? Welcome in, guys. Today we're going to talk about something that... This is like something that I question myself all the time, because I'm like, come on, guys, get it together. And I'm just bumping you up, but you guys need to, like, be slapped. Because some of us continue to make the same mistakes over and over and over and over and over and over again. And then there's people who are wasting away, not minding their business and living through their life through the eyes of others, and pretty much just pissing on everybody's parade, you know? So, with that being said, we're going to talk about why you believe in everything else but yourself. Stop your nonsense. Ay, güey, siento que traía como un pelito aquí. Okay, anyways. So, buenos días, Rosa Flores. Hey, that's crazy. Rosa Flores. So she's a flower and flowers. Qué bonito nombre. So we've been talking about the signs that you see, numerology. We talk about, go ahead and like, follow, share, guys, because you know what, guys? Y'all gotta show some support. I'll support you, baby bird. I'll feed you. I've been having some like weird people. Do you guys get like these random ass people that are like literally just letters they have to post, and then they post a picture of somebody with their back? It's like their back, and then it's like they're looking at some scenery, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck is this shit? You know, cause what the fuck? And if it's somebody that's trying to reach me, then just fucking get the balls to say something. Like, don't be wasting my time here, making me go into my app and then block that person too. And next thing you know, you have like how do you have time to do all that shit, you know? That's insane. Must be really obsessed. Why are you so obsessed with me? I'm kidding. But anyways. So, we're going to talk today about how we tend to believe in everything else but ourselves, right? And think about it, guys. We trust everything around us with no question. And the reason why is because I want to show you how... Do you guys remember the movie I, Robot? Because I saw something pretty interesting this morning. The reason why we're going to talk about this is because we trust in the news that they tell us, right? We trust in the pharmaceuticals. We trust in everything, the government that makes decision for us. We trust in every dimension. Like our safety, our money, our children, our freedom is pretty much into this like whole algorithm of it's like you trust social media, for example, the algorithm right now that I said that. We trust it for it to paint a perfect picture of our life, right? We trust institutions that are run by people who we never even met, have never even been in our shoes, have never even experienced any type of adversity that you have gone through, that operate agendas that really shape like pretty much the way of living, right? We hand over trust automatically. I mean, we end up trusting strangers. Sometimes it's easier to trust a stranger than it is your family, right? Right? Qué vergas, hombre. And I feel like I have some hair in my face. And 2026, we're at the beginning of AI. I always told you guys that for me, AI is like the most reasonable way to break down an issue, right? Mira pues, el pinche pecos, ya sabía. Yeah. And pretty much, if you guys don't know about AI, pues les voy a decir, chavos. AI is pretty much a technology that is pretty new, that people who built it, hello, Miss Manda Panda, will openly tell you that they do not fully understand everything that it is capable of doing, right? And yet, the trust is transferred so easily, right? So one of the things that we saw, or I saw when I opened my social media this morning, was how we're at a point in our life where our own consciousness is a force that's more powerful than any system, any institution, guys, any algorithm, anything that you follow, any creator, whatever you think. And there's signs all around us. There's signs that we have been noticing, signs that have been trying to like scream, hey, look at me. And signs that we probably have yet to see. But this morning, I'm sure you guys have heard how Anthropic was banned from the Pentagon, right? And I read a news article that was very interesting, because in what I read, I understood something completely different from what it said in the article, ironically. And it was pretty much contradicting itself, if you want to put it in that sense. And by that, I mean that I'm going to read you here. I'm going to read you this article about Anthropic. If you guys are into technology and AI, I think Anthropic is really accurate. It's a really cool system to use when you want to build, whether it's a platform where you're trying to build something. It teaches you coding, and it's very accurate. It doesn't just fix it for you. It tells you, and it breaks it down for you, and it tells you the the who, what, when, and where, why, everything. So this morning, Jennifer Griffin, she posted, at high-stakes Pentagon meeting today, Secretary Heggs gave Anthropic head Dario Amodei ultimatum to allow the Pentagon to use Anthropic's AI model for mass domestic surveillance and kinetic autonomous operations without human oversight or face sensor, and be labeled supply chain threat. According to a source familiar, the meeting was cordial, not a dressing down, not a screaming match, all business. Hegseth praised the Anthropic product, but then said if by Friday Anthropic does not agree to the Pentagon's use of the model without restrictions, then Hegseth would terminate the contract and use the Defense Production Act to force Anthropic to comply and/or designate Anthropic a supply chain threat and national security risk. Edit. Both are mutually exclusive. You can't be a supply chain risk, but also invoke the DPA to say that the country needs this product so much for national security that it will override any restrictions put in place by the company that limits government access to the product, but cannot be true. Both cannot be true, I'm sorry. At issue is Anthropic's two stipulations, that is, advanced AI model currently used in the Pentagon classified system is not used for autonomous kinetic operations. Anthropic currently requires human oversight of autonomous operations when used to kill things for safety reasons, because they don't know how to how the autonomous system will react and could even endanger soldiers using the model. Soldiers and others could lose control of the model automatically and start killing large groups without humans in the kill chain. Second, Anthropic bars its models from being used for mass domestic surveillance. Hegseth wants these restrictions lifted. According to the source familiar with the task, Anthropic has never objected the use of its models for legitimate military operations. It also told Hegseth it never complained to the Pentagon or Palantir about the use of its models in the Maduro raid. What does that all mean? It's all a bunch of gibberish to me. Well, the reason why I brought this up and why it's gonna go hand in hand with what I'm talking about today is because, well, we're at this, like, think about it, guys. We trust everything but ourselves. We trust the news. And now in 2026, we're beginning to trust AI, right? A technology so new that even the people that create it openly say that they don't fully understand its capabilities, right? And yet the transfer of trust is done naturally, easily, without much resistance at all, right? But you tell the same person, the one who trusts all of that without blinking, that they carry something extraordinary inside of them, and their consciousness is a force more powerful than any system, any institution, any algorithm, guys. And that they have, like, pretty much like a capability to perceive reality. Happy Sunday, Charlie. The reality of at frequency most people can't or probably don't have access to. And that there's a sign that they're noticing all these things and that they're communicating something specific and personal to them. And watch how fast this person automatically shuts down and stops believing. You have an amazing day. I hope you and your puppy have an amazing day. Get a lot of sunlight, a lot of vitamin D, a lot of vitamin C. And here's the gap between, like, being how readily we trust in everything external and how we quickly instinctively start to doubt in our own internal knowing, right? And it's not accidental, guys. Let me tell you, it's the most successful and it's the most and the longest running form of control ever devised, guys. And why is that? Because it is controlled through the quiet consistency erosion of the belief of your own power, guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the support. I'm going to catch your live later if you go on. And what happens? Well, people keep looking outward for truth, knowing that they're never going to look inward long enough to really find the only source that was ever real, right? How sad is that? And how crazy are the people that you say are crazy for thinking otherwise? Or for thinking that they are capable of all these things that they believe in? And why is our belief more superior than others? What makes you think that? If it's so narrow, boring. And the thing is, guys, that spirituality, guys, it's been packaged into something safe enough to be packaged, repackaged, and sold, right? Like the crystals and affirmations, the morning routines, vision boards, frequencies, like the frequency music stations, or you have like 30-day challenges, right? It's so easy to monetize spirituality. And thank you so much, Beatwits Creations Legacy. Hey, thank you so much for the love. I appreciate it. Where are you from? We're talking about spirituality, consciousness, and AI, and they all go together. So what happens? Well, none of those things are wrong, because all of those things do exist and they are true. They have become pretty much the external of what people never are willing, of what people are willing to see within, right? And it's like, think about it, guys. Every genuine tradition, every genuine, like, spiritual tradition, it gets before before institutions try to turn it into something commercial or something that they can be a compliant system, it carried the same radical truth, guys. The same one that you're believing in right now. They help us see just enough time so we can see the outer. Yes. And it's always going to be search the external. Nothing's ever going to teach you to look internally. Why? Because if you do, you're going to be conscious. And if you're conscious, you can't be controlled. And if you can't be controlled, you're going to start asking questions that they don't want you to have answers for because they don't want you to know. It sounds crazy as fuck, right? But it's true. It's happening right before our eyes. They're repackaging this whole kid thing situation as entertainment and a political stunt when it's not. There should be a line between, hey, when are we going to go together for this? Yes. It's like getting you lost in the whole perspective or the whole argument that you started with. They're just trying to mumble jumble you. And you know what, buddy? I'm here to tell you that's a bunch of bullshit. And that's why I'm here. So there's no need to fear, guys, because your friendly queer is here to say what you want to hear, but you fear to say. So what happens? Well, the source of everything you're seeking for, guys, on the outside of yourself, it's inside your whole time. How can you say that God is part of you and then you don't believe it when somebody tells you that He is? That you didn't have to go to church for that. That it was all part of like your whole being, your whole purpose of being here. And ironically, guys, in the Hermetic texts, they're texts that have been hidden for centuries, right? It said that the universe is mental. Everything begins as consciousness before it becomes a physical reality. Even us. We were pure consciousness before we took this human form. Your thoughts, they're not just your reactions to the world, guys. They're like your participation in the construction of it. Right now, guys, the whole anthropic thing that I read to you, how the government wanted the creator of Anthropic or Claude to pretty much just remove the two main rules from it, which is that it was never going to be used in a form of surveillance, and that it was never going to be left alone under human surveillance or human monitoring. Because think about it, that's the whole point. Was crazy as we all agree with each other. Exactly. And you know what, guys? It's not coincidence. The whole point of me bringing this up topic, the fact that this came up yesterday, this morning, it's not coincidence, guys. We're talking about numerology the last couple of days. We're talking about the number 9, how the number 9 is the highest number of spiritual and the spirituality number, and how ironically for all of us, who was it? Linda, Quentin, Rebecca, and myself, like the number 3, the number 9 has been resonating. And how some of us are already in our personal year, which for me it's the number 4, and the number 4 is a moment of awakening. And which happens to be this year, the year of building something solid. And maybe that's why I'm doing this, because I want you guys to feel the same thing that I feel when I help someone, or to feel the same things that I see all around us and that I cannot understand why people don't see. My birthday's January 2nd. I'm a Capricorn. I am exactly. You know what 4 is? You have to subtract. If I'm not mistaken, it was your birthday and month with the current year. Which for me it gave me the number 4, which you had the personal year, your personal year, which is the last number you're given. That's the year where you're supposed to take action. And you're only given so many chances, throughout your life. And think about it, guys. What are you so stressed about? If you can't fix it while you're stressing, why the fuck do you give it energy? I'm not going to tell you the gorgeous things that people tell you after the darkness. I'm going to tell you what it is in the darkness. How it feels like, so that you don't have all these expectations and then get slapped in the face with reality. Because let me tell you, I've been there. It's fucking dark. And there's going to be... I'm stressed that I may never receive SOX stipends. SOX stipends? Okay, I don't know what that is. Exactly. Like what happens when we start to doubt. When I started doing this, guys, like I was like, nobody's gonna believe me. And then little things started to happen. And I started taking notes. Because I was like, you know what? I'll be damned if this is the one time that I decide to say something out loud for everybody to hear and that I don't have fucking receipts. And I do have receipts, let me tell you. Every single day it's a fucking receipt. So in the Hermetic text, what does it tell us? It tells us that the universe is mental, that everything begins in consciousness, and that your thoughts. I was catapulted through my worst pain in 2006. Exactly, from pain, there is. So I'm going to get into that right now because you touched a very important topic. So your thoughts are not just reactions to the world, guys. This is what you're doing. This is your participation in the world, okay? The mystics who were burned and silenced and labeled as heretics or as somebody that you don't need, that was evil, like SpongeBob, like Mr. What's his name? Barnacle Man. I mean Barnacle Boy and Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. Evil. I heard your participation here is gonna be determined where you end up because of how exactly. My way of seeing life is treat others how you would have wanted your younger self to be treated in that moment. Because let me tell you, yes, and that's another thing that funny that you say that, because the people that were silenced back in the day, they were silenced because they were trying to teach you that you don't need an intermediate person or something in between so you can have this relationship with God, which was pretty much you're not separated from it. You never were, and in ancient traditions and wisdom, like every culture on earth arrived at the same consciousness, guys. The human is not a passive receiver of reality. It's a conscious creator of it. And what does that mean? Well, that means that how are you going to tell me that Mr. Sir over here is going to tell me what the conversation about me and Jesus crust in the tux should be? Because I like that version of Jesus for me. When he can't hear my thoughts. He doesn't know what I do in the dark. I could tell him whatever he wants to hear. He doesn't know me. Remember, he sees you when you're sleeping and he knows when you're awake. But the priest doesn't know. So why do we have to go somewhere outside of our comfort zone in order to see a bunch of people? 1133, look at that. 69%, my favorite number. People go to church, and I stopped going to church. You know why? I come from a Catholic family. My grandpa's 133, you see? My grandpa was a deacon, but he never like forced us. That's what I love about, that's one thing that I love about my family. There's a lot of things I don't like, but that's one of their, yes. Exactly. I didn't like how I myself was sitting there and I was judging everybody because I knew what they were all doing outside of church. I knew that the baby daddy was with the baby mama. And exactly. And I knew that they were just here because they want the appearances. What people say is everything, right? Well, people are saying that you're a dumbass bitch because you know that the baby daddy's cheating on you. But then again, here you are walking around in public with them. That's pendeja, okay? Like I said, I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. If you're watching this and you're still with that toxic ass motherfucker, you need to leave, girlfriend. Period. So, bet you guys weren't expecting that. Think about it, guys. This is what gets suppressed in religion. And it's not because it is dangerous to you. Hell yeah. I'm a bad bitch and I got bad anxiety. People call me rude because I ain't letting them try me. Saying I'm a hoe because I'm in love with my body. Issues, but nobody that I could talk to a body. I think, I don't know. um, so it's suppressed because it's not because it's dangerous to you, but because it is dangerous to the system that we live in, guys. That requires your helplessness in order to maintain the function or the authority over your life. Thank you so much. Yes, like I'm like driving around and I'm like dying of anxiety, but I'm like, you know what? You got this, bitch, because you're the baddest bitch here. And God, thank you for making me the baddest bitch alive. And I'm a fucking vibe. And period. And you know what? I'm cocky as fuck. Everything about me popping, got face like a body. You name it, I got it. Cocky as fuck. Bitch, you know I'm conceited. I don't know. I don't know. I just gotta pump myself up. That's all I know. Because if you don't love yourself, then who's gonna pump you up? You ain't got Megan the Stallion here pumping you. Exactly. Shit. You gotta get that little ratchet hoe out of you sometime, Make them knees pop or something. That's what I tell my wife, because, I heard somewhere that you move your knees to twerk. I don't know. I don't have butt to twerk, but in my mind, I look like Megan the Stallion, let me tell you. When I'm like crushing it, I'm like, I feel like Mariah Carey got these bitches so obsessed. What?
I said it's beautiful.
Yes, I'm twerking and I got my nails done and my hair did and everything. So it's dangerous to the whole system around us, guys, that you be twerking around here, knowing the truth and telling everybody to twerk with you. So a person who genuinely knows and holds their own power does not need to be saved, managed, or governed, because you cannot control consciousness, guys. You can't bullshit a bullshitter if the bullshitter knows how the bullshitting game goes. And then you start rhyming and you're like, what the fuck? But that's you vibing. I'm all of you guys in me. I'm talking for all of you guys, okay? That's why I look like your neighbor, the person from the store, maybe your coworker. I don't know. And who's the person that's the most threatening? Are you ready, kids? It is the structure or the human that is trying to build a structure out of dependency. Yes, whenever you come home from being out in public and you're like, God damn, that was so fucking exhausting. That's your body being drained because you're an empath. Because you and I both know that you have been through some shitty shit that nobody knows, that you don't even want to remember about. Because you feel that if they ask the right questions, you're going to break down. I beat my house. And that's crazy because sometimes I think that's one of the hardest truths or pills to swallow, that one of the hardest parts of the process is to realize that. But that's good. Crying is good. That means you still feel, because sometimes people can be really conscious and aware that they're always analyzing and they forget to feel and experience. So don't forget to enjoy how you feel at the moment and know that you're never going to feel that sadness again. Because you're only stuck in a cycle if you continue to make the same choices. Think about it. Exactly. And that's why I'm here, guys, because at some point I needed to see somebody on social media that was feeling it and that was going through it. Because when I was in bed, miserable and not being able to get out, not being able to even go to work, all I saw was happy couples, people living the dream, while I was like stuck in misery. Sometimes anxiety happens when you become aware, and with awareness, the veil begins to lift. Exactly. Your anxiety is because you're sucking in the energy instead of reflecting it, bounce back. I started to believe that the karmic cycles are what's supposed to teach us. Yes. You know what my greatest thing is, and that probably got me out of this, and I'm always going to say it? Our downfalls are just training day for us. You can either stay stuck and be a victim and be like, boo-hoo, I fell, mama. I need a kiss on my boo-boo. Or you can be like, I fell, but you know what? What did Cardi say? This is for the times I use the opposite of win. I'm just good at getting up and then trying shit again. Because you know what? When you get up, You get up a little bit wiser because you're supposed to learn a lesson. You're not supposed to be angry at everybody else because you fell. You're supposed to look within and say, okay, what decisions did I make that nobody put a gun in my head? Hell yeah. Imagine, that'd be cool. I always wanted to be like Eminem, But this nerd life chose me, so I can't do much about it. Missy Elliott was the homie back then, I'm Missy Elliott old. The nerd is what they needed in this world so that I could be all focused and shit. Because imagine I'd be rapping and twerking. So I've always said that our experiences, accountability is the real thing. Exactly. You need to sit. You know what I always avoided, guys? I avoided being by myself because that meant that I had to listen to myself. Yes. We see all the signs that are literally slapping us in our faces. And then we question what happened. Or why so-and-so did this, bitch. It wasn't the other person. That was you. You reflecting on your unmet needs and making them somebody else's problem. It's not the neighbor's problem or your boyfriend's problem to fix your insecurities. That's your fixing. And the only thing that people can do is guide you. There's going to be a person that's going to be your karmic person that's going to be a fucking reflection of you. You're going to be able to finish that person's sentences because you guys are going to be so in tune and you're going to think it's magical. But you're not going to realize that the trauma is what attracted you to that person. And that in reality, they're challenging you to face all of your mistakes. And until you say, I own my mistakes like a badass bitch, you can't make fun of me because I've already called myself all the fucking nastiest things you can think of. Until then, you start making changes. Because think about it. Don't ask yourself, why does this always happen to me? Well, it happens to me because you make the same fucking choices. You just choose a different person. You're going to fall as many times as you need to fall for you to get it right, girlfriend. Why not me? Well, because, I try to tell people this and can't even fathom it. Exactly. And you know what, guys? Coming from somebody that used to be the biggest bully ever, that used to be condescending. I still am, I guess. My wife says I have a tone. But you know what? I had to figure it out. I had to suck it up, buttercup, and my emotions did not matter at all. So why am I going to sugarcoat it for a grown-ass adult? Because obviously people have been sugarcoating it, but you're not getting it. So I'm going to be reality for you, and I'm going to slap you in the face with your reality and tell you, bitch, what are you doing? Either we ride or I'm going to bounce because you know what? Ain't nobody got time for that. Don't be questioning yourself why people get tired and they leave you. They leave because you are given all the signs. You're just in denial. You're resisting to change. You're resisting to change because you've been noticing things, the numbers, moments of impossible coincidence. Exactly. I thought about someone, and then you automatically get a phone call, or they get a text message. You get a text message, or you see them in the street the next day, or a decision that you were sitting with, and then a song came up, and it's like the words. How many of you guys run into the tarot readings about things you haven't said out loud? So your phone could have heard you. We all know our phones hear you. It's a necessary thing, apparently, to our government. Not that they're going to do anything about it. They just want to hear what you're saying to see if we're all on the same page. And it's not that I'm anti-government or anything, but I've already broken down the system, and it makes me sad that we're so blind to it and we follow so blindly. And at this point, we're better off with somebody who is spiritual in the house than the two parties we have that are ruling. The whole purpose of our fight has been lost in all this. And let me tell you guys, the movie I, Robot is being written right now as we speak with this Anthropic thing. Why? Because we're giving away our decision. If Anthropic no longer holds human monitoring, or it doesn't require human monitoring. Anthropic was built on a huge library of different theories from different poets, different Socrates. What is it? Socrates, Pluto, and all them people, right? And you know what that tells us, guys? That tells us that the answer of consciousness has always been within us. Why? Because these people have always came to the same conclusion that the universe is a mental state, that we are energy. Hello, Angel Lee, that we're all consciousness, pure consciousness, guys. That when we come into this world, we know everything and anything. That's why a baby can learn so many languages. Think about it. I'm doing great. How are you doing? And what happens, guys? You start noticing things, but I'm glad to hear. Where are you from? You start noticing things, guys, but then we start to become quiet inside. Because first you have to take it in, right? First you have to process what's happening. It's a crazy feeling. Nigeria, nice. That's awesome. Nigeria. That is so cool. That's crazy how we can be so far away but yet so close. I am in the United States, in Arizona. We have a lot of dry heat. It's hard to leave from here, I gotta say though. It's like you leave and you see all these gorgeous places, but you're like, I want to go to the nasty little place in Yuma. It's like that trash can is my home. It's like the Hotel California. You can never leave from here, I swear. Even people that didn't live here were choose to stay. It's crazy. I think it's Mr. G's. I think they put some sort of coke in there. I don't know. But think about it, guys. We start to notice, we start to process, and then we start to become a little wait, let me just take my glasses and wipe my little eye boogers off and see what's going on, because this ain't sounding right? But is it not sounding right? Or is it sounding too right? My sister has lovers from US. Oh, nice. That's cool. Long distance can be hard sometimes, right? The sign is never the message, guys. The sign is the pointer. It's that's why it's a sign. I saw the sign and I opened up my eyes. I saw the sign. Think about it. Listen to the song. It literally tells you what to do, guys. All the songs that we listen to are literally instructions. And we're over here fucking just twerking our life away instead of listening to the message. I got a new life. Okay, pues. So, I'm gonna put this on because you know what? You guys need to see the sign. And most people notice the sign immediately and they start to go external with it, right? They start to Google the meaning of the number. They ask someone what else it means. They look for a framework, a tradition. They start to look for a teacher to help them interpret things for them, right? And in doing so, they're repeating the exact same pattern that we just identified. handing their authority to somebody else on the external in order to validate something that you know is already real and it's already being stirred inside of you. And the deeper practice is this: before you seek an interpretation from anywhere externally, sit with that sign long enough to notice what's happening to you in that moment. And what does it mean to you? Because a sign could be something in a book, but to you in that moment could represent something else. It could be a close topic that, or a discussion that you had with somebody in private, or something that you just never even talked about. And it's not coincidence dressing itself as like something meaningful either. So don't try to find a justification for it. Like, it's not a coincidence. It's your own consciousness, okay? And it's operating at a frequency that is beyond your consciousness at the moment, which is trying to communicate with the part of you that is still awake. Awake enough for you to be curious enough to ask questions and to listen to that sign at that moment. Thank you. So when you see the same number repeatedly, guys, it's not the number that is holding the power. No, it's the fact that something in you keeps noticing that damn number. That for some reason, something in you tells you to turn and look at your time when it's 11:42, 11:44, 11:52, whatever the time is. Wow, will you be safe in Nigeria? Good night. It's crazy, right? It's like 11. It's going to be noon here in Yuma, and you're like, he's going to go to bed already. Have a good night. So, the fact that you're noticing these things is something curious if you have done research on. I have heard of the RH negative bloodlines. I am an O negative, I think, O positive, so... Personally, I mainly use or go into the things about myself. And from that is what I'm trying to share with you guys. Because I'm a very negative person. My name would have been Nancy had I not changed my perspective. That's how negative I was. And then I was a Buzz Killington as well. Oh, this is a good song. But the fact that you're noticing, guys, that alone is the gift. You're already being shown that there's a part of you that is paying attention to all the little whatever nonsense going on around you at a higher level. And the rational version of you is noticing that. Because remember, guys, we make a life contract before we come here. Now, this is going to sound to a bunch of bananas to you guys, but I'm being serial. What else? I mean, come on, guys. What more do you have to lose in trusting in what I have to say? How much worse can it get, puppy? Maybe that's why I'm here and you're listening to me right now, because you agree at the fact that it's like, you know what? Maybe this kid with their curly hair could have some sense. I mean, maybe she's not all that cuckoo in the head. Because I'm not, guys. I'm being serial. I just like to joke around, and maybe that sounds a little mature, but I don't care, because you know what? I do what I want. And that's what you guys should do. And it's not something separate. Like, it's something that you were already, a version of you that already was in another timeline. And it didn't have to be something that you were told, because don't you just sometimes know about something but you don't remember where you know or where you heard it from? This isn't your first time around in this place. Who volunteered, or who would even like want to volunteer to this timeline? I don't know, but I guess we did. You were crazy enough, and we did. And why are you noticing all these things right now? Well, look around you. What's happening right now? Right now, we're almost handing off our decision making to artificial intelligence, guys. That's what's happening. iRobot is pretty much not that robots are going to take over and they're going to turn evil. Because robots would not exist if we don't create them. But it's the fact that you're giving up your sovereignty to robots and letting them have their own decision making. And alone right there, you're already giving up your personal decision. And you do that with people all the time. And that's why you feel drained. So it's coincidence. Let's say there's There's something, a situation or whatever situation happens to you, and it's just too on point for it to be coincidence. It was just like right on point. It's either the timing, the words, whatever. It's just something that is like, right? You're bleeding because they threw a rock at you. That's how hard it hit you. And it's usually at a time when you're wondering or you're looking for a sign, or it's trying to answer something quietly, right? And it's not the universe that is doing something to you. The universe is doing something or vibrating along with you. You guys are at the same frequency, at the same vibration, which is different. One makes you a recipient and the other makes you a participant. You're not being guided from the outside. You are being reflecting, or you're reflecting from within. Think about it, guys. When they tell you treat others how you want to be treated, it's literally that. When you start to sit with all your mistakes and nobody can hold anything for you and nobody can use any of your flaws against you because you've already grilled yourself. That's how I see it. When people come and try to troll me, I'm like, okay, let's see how damaged your childhood was. I use it as a moment to evaluate you. To evaluate if it's like a abandonment issue that I have, or if it's something else, because you know what, guys? I've been there, done that. I've been the hater. I've been the hater. I've been the one that's trying to help, the one that's always giving and never willing to receive, never open to receive because I didn't feel deserving or worthy of. I thought sacrifice was love, and the harder I bleed, the more I bleed, the more I will be loved. Well, newsflash, I'm not. I bled a lot, and I was by myself, and nobody knew. So I don't want you guys to ever feel like that. I don't want anybody to ever feel the way that I felt. Because if there would have been somebody at some point in life that was showing their true colors and saying, you know what, dude, fucking life sucks right now, then maybe I would have been like, okay, I'm gonna watch this dude and see how they function. I don't want to see happiness after the storm. I want to see the storm as it's happening. Maybe I'm too nosy, I don't know. So participating is a discipline that you're pretty much, that it appears without a sign, guys. Like, try not to reach your phone, try not to immediately look up. Exactly, the storm. You learn from pain. What happens when somebody loses a family member due to violence, due to something that could have been prevented if it had been for somebody else? Obviously, we can't have good exist overall, like all the time. We have to have bad in order to grow. But those people want to help others, right? What if your purpose is to go through that bad situation? Because you experienced it, you know how to show up for others. And if by you doing that, you know how to identify the other versions of yourself. Because you start seeing yourself in every interaction you have with anything external. And all you want to do is you want to hold that kid and tell me he's okay. It doesn't matter if the person outside is an older person. But you see yourself in these different versions because you see how you could have been, how you would have been, how you were. The other choices that you could have had and you didn't take. Think about it, guys. Everything we complain about is everything that we are, and we can't seem to change, or we think we can't change. Like, what does it feel like to be in your body right now when you're doing this? Like, take 30 seconds and ask yourself, okay, I gave myself the space to not check my phone as soon as I got a text message, or I'm not going to answer right away. So it could be something as simple as that. Yes, we're all projecting. And you know what, guys? You start to realize that the angry people that come at you, not even angry at you. Exactly. You are what you eat. It's the same thing whenever you give the energy out. That's why karma is a thing, because anything you put out there is always going to come back to you. Exactly. We're supposed to embrace both because you can't have one or the other. So think about it. Like, what does it feel like? The truth is a sign that is always registered. I have just been through a lot of nonsense that I had to deal with on my own. I mean, I guess I had people around me, but I was too much of an outcast. And I don't know, I guess I always figured there was something wrong with me. I was like, maybe this is it. Maybe I'm too aware of everything. But you know what? I am proof to tell you that probably the one thing that you're the most insecure about is your biggest attribute and the one thing that everybody's hating you for. So own it, walk the walk, and slay. Because if you're a female, you should embrace your intuition. You are the Holy Grail. Your uterus is the shape of the cup of life. Females are the foundation of everything. Look up Mary Magdalene, guys. Yesterday I had a conversation with my old boss, and she's very connected. She knows a lot about, she's read the Bible back and forth. So that alone was was big for me, because I wanted to see what she would say with me telling her that that Mary Magdalene was our spiritual connection and the true apostle. And she was very adamant that it wasn't. And she's like, "You're gonna tell me that the Bible?" And I was like, "Well, the Bible is missing a shit ton of books. The one that we have is missing so many books that make it make sense. Why? Because the Bible we have is the Bible that is meant to be interpreted as an external source that you need to look for, external forgiveness, to always carry guilt. But here I am telling you not to carry a guilt or any pain that is not yours. All you can do is guide the horse to the water, but you cannot make him drink." Hello, Lizzie Gizzy. Busy Gizzy. So you start to ask questions, the chest starts to open, your stomach starts settling. Suddenly it's not a fart, it's your intuition. Suddenly the inexplicable comes or starts to be calm after days of it being so loud, right? That's mainly what religion was, yes. Why? Because Mary Magdalene, after Jesus died, she was like, "Hey guys, I can show you how or what he meant with this whole performance right here." And everybody was like, "Peter, you're gonna let this chick override you? You are a man. Be a man, bro." So Peter Pumpkin Eater was like, "Guys, she's a witch," because he couldn't handle. So you know what happened? They got together, they made the Bible, and everything bad and evil is in the female terminology because females are evil. But they don't realize that females have intuition, and you don't have to tell us anything because we already know the truth. And you can lie all you want, but I can still see your true colors. So over time, what happens? Well, something remarkable starts to happen because you start to embrace yourself and you stop needing external validation. Guys, it feels fucking amazing to say no. And you no longer start you stop second guessing yourself. You have the knowledge that arrives before the logic. You stop and you think before you act. You begin to trust the signals that come all around you because you've developed this cool relationship with your intuition and yourself, because you already know that you are not your biggest enemy. Well, technically you are, but you've already made peace with them and you have already sat with them and said, "You know what, Way, you fucked up." And then the other of you said, "You know what, I did. I wasn't the best person, but it's because I haven't healed from that yet." Because everything that our issues come down to, guys, if you fucking fix your generational trauma, you'll fix your whole life. We have problems because we want to. Because we're too fucking scared to see the true version of ourselves and how horrible we can be. Pero Ayanda's right. If you're gonna do it, then fucking watch yourself, homie. I dare you to watch yourself and say that that was the right way to behave. Why? Because it's just acknowledgement that everything that everybody else was saying about you, the bad things, that's just acknowledging that you were wrong. And that your intuition got to your head and you allowed yourself to move with envy, with superiorness. Karma's a bitch. And she ain't. No, she's not bullshitting when she comes back, let me tell you. She's gonna make sure she gets you. She gets you by surprise when you're not thinking, when you're not even ready, in calzones, with no chanclas nearby to run. But you begin to trust the signals and you become the most reliable navigation in your system that you have ever had access to, guys. Finally, you're in perpetual happiness. Finally, you don't need anything and anyone to have some fun. You can go on your own to have a dinner and you don't feel like a loser. Why? Because the person that is saying, what a loser, he's eating by himself, probably has always wanted to do that, but they feel like too insecure about themselves to do any of it, anything about it. And why? Why am I going to do something or not going to do something just because so and so said so? Does that person come in and tuck me in at night? Are they paying my bills? I think that if you are aware of your downfalls and the whys, that right there should tell you, maybe I am not that regular after all. I'm not that average Joe. Maybe there is something special about me and it's not a special ed. Why do you guys think that people that are autistic people don't have social skills? Why? Because they don't have time to fucking waste here. They came for a purpose. They came here and that's why they're smart. That's what they know. And you know what, guys? Exactly. As soon as I realized my karma, I immediately knew I had to change my ways. And you know what's crazy? That people fall and they're like, I am going to push harder on the same issue that made me fall 4 times. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Shame on me for making the same choices. So hold yourself accountable, buddy. Because all them steroids and that gym membership ain't going to do shit when somebody comes over here and tells you that you're a pussy. Because you're going to start to cry. The gym doesn't build up your tears to come out with muscles. You hold the most power when you are emotionally intelligent. When you don't react to the external because you already owned it. You can't bullshit a bullshitter because a bullshitter knows the game. It's not because they're bad, it's because they've already played it. They've been there, done that, and you know how they find out? Because they've been played too. They're not just playing, they're getting played too. So stop reflecting all your pain onto people that have nothing to do with it. You start seeing patterns and conversations and everywhere. You feel like everybody's normal but you. And then nobody else understands what you're talking about because they're going to say you're crazy. Because we painted reality as crazy. We were taught to reach for the stars, but to not have creativity or imagination at all. That stars are the limit. It's like a little wordplay, right? I'm going to make you think that you can do it all, but you technically have a limit. Don't get too excited, bro. But you don't have a limit. You can think about whatever the fuck you want. Shit, I believe in dinosaurs, and I think they're already going to do, like, some clones or whatever. It was me, guys. I chose dinosaurs. I'm sorry, guys. I wanted them to come back. And they made a comeback. Hello, Gina Kyla. So, you start to sense your environment. And instead of you contributing, it is taking from you. Exactly. Being unique. How many times did we always I know I was always bullied because I was different, because I looked like a little boy. I was called he, she at some times because people couldn't figure out what I was. That didn't say much about me. That just showed me the level of ignorance and the narrowness that they live in, the bubble they live in. But back then, did it hurt me? Yes. Did it hurt me for a long time? It did. Because it kind of shaped me how insecure I was about myself and how nothing I felt that I liked to wear looked good. But then I was like, you know what? I'm a bad bitch and I got bad anxiety. If I'm gonna be fucking falling, we're all gonna be falling together. Y'all created this. Now we're gonna drown together, guys. Nah. You guys wanted shots? We're all doing shots. Abstinent, or what is it? Yeah. So, guys, the loneliness of waking is not the absence of people, guys. It's the presence of how clear the truth is, and how it's the deception of reality. The deception that you were that you have all these years that you wasted. And for what? Only to be told that it was all a lie. And I get it. And that's the part that nobody says, guys. Most people who wake up spend years trying to go back to sleep. Hey, Kylie. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate you. Guys, go check her out. She has a page with where she has products listed. And there's a lot of cool makeup and stuff if you guys love makeup and lip glosses. And then she also has... Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I hope you have an amazing, fun day. I mean, Sunday. A nice little family Sunday. Be safe and thank you so much. I really appreciate you being on here. Thank you. Look at that. I wanted to celebrate her. How do I celebrate? Funky time. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Look at that. Thank you for those populars. Thank you so much. You're the best. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Jen. I'm so glad you found my page too. Honestly, guys, this isn't coincidence that you guys found me, because I'm pretty sure that you guys have had some sort of something that's happened to you guys that you guys don't talk about, and that probably resonated the moment you heard something I said, and it made you go back to the age again, and it reminded you that there was a little bit pending business that you had with yourself. And I truly just want to tell you that it's okay. You can ugly cry. I'm here for you, baby. I'm a Jew by the shape of my head. Anybody, weren't you just like a little angry at the world? I'll be whatever you want. I have a big head, actually. You can probably tell I'm a Jew by my nose. But don't be mistaken, I'm not a Jew. And you know what, guys? Learn how to joke about yourself. Because, if you don't laugh at yourself... No, thank you. I do not want to have a baby. Especially not with somebody random like that. I have a wife. I already have kids. So being awake is harder and harder. Why? Because it requires you to make decisions that the unconscious version of you would never have made, guys. Thank you. And it's crazy because when I started doing this, I said I wanted to... Yes, and it's crazy that... Well, first on what Jen said, when I started doing this, my whole purpose was to plant seeds and to... That if I could just plant a seed and you guys just water it later on. Yeah, you shouldn't underestimate anybody. I just wanted to plant a seed that you guys would nourish and allow to yourself to water and to let grow. Because if you allowed that seed be planted, that means that you've been thinking about it, but you just needed that extra push. And in laughing at yourself, think about it. When you sit with your mistakes, nobody can hold anything on you. Because you guys can play a match of who can say the worst things to yourself, and you've already called yourself worse things before than what anybody says in public. Exactly. Like, I'm not trying to get you guys to believe anything but yourself. I don't have a religion that I'm trying to pull you to. All I'm doing is I am sharing my journey in the rawest way that I can, and I'm telling you probably the things that you needed to hear. You're important. Thank you so much. Yes, I'm telling you guys the truth. I'm telling you guys that it's not a fart, it's your intuition. And I'm going to tell you guys what works for me, and hopefully it gives you guys an idea for yourself. If you want to vent, if you want to jump in on a live, if you want to share your different perspective, I'm open to different perspectives. I don't judge anybody by what they believe in. But if you're going to be giving disrespect, don't waste my time and don't waste your energy, because it's not going to make a difference. Like, I think it's going to be more triggering for the other person, because being somebody that feeds off of somebody's misfortunes, because like, I'm a great person, but don't fuck with me. No, I think that we should probably guide the people that are misinformed. Why does there always have to be division? Why can't we just learn to accept the fact that people think different than us, and that it's okay, that it's not gonna diminish or make your balls any smaller? I'm a reptilian. I'm a dinosaur. Hear me roar. Roar. But guys, all I want is for you guys to have a different perspective. I'm not trying to pull you into anything. I'm trying to remind you guys that you guys have free will, that you guys have a choice. Thank you so much for the heart. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, guys. That you guys have a choice. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. It's Sunday. What's Sunday? Sunday song. The Venga Boys are coming. It's Sunday throwback. I got something to tell you. I got something for you. I'm all about the Venga Boys. The Venga Boys are coming. Oh, damn it, it's not the chorus yet. I'm going to give you guys some raw truth with a little bit of twerk. Because your bitch got anxiety and gotta let it out. And I'm here to tell you guys, is that what you're doing, anybody? Because I think that you need to stop. It's kind of showing a lot in the way you interact. And I just worry for you, with all honesty. I am doing great. How about yourself? I come home. I can sing, you guys. I can sing for you guys too. Ooh, were you twerking yesterday? Were you out and about? Have a beautiful day. Thank you for watching. I am most likely going to go live later. And with all the ADHD I have and all the creativity that is trying to come out of me, I'm trying to make a podcast so you guys can listen to this on your streaming media. I was like for 4 hours. Damn, girl, your knees must hurt. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So, remember, guys, we're like a bunch of like recovered hoes, okay? We're getting back in business, coming back to society to contribute to the awakening, guys. We're refined hoes. We had to live it to be able to have an opinion about it. We had to live and learn, guys. I can't be talking about no hoeing if I didn't do any hoeing. Nah, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, guys. I'm not a hoe. We're not hoes. That's what they want to believe. My wife is like, we're not hoes? I know you are. I've been a nasty girl, nasty. I've been a nasty girl. Is somebody gonna match my freak? Is that cool? Hell yeah! Shit, that's some cool Cali Coochies. You know what, guys? That album right there is very healing. That heals your mama issues, and that makes you realize we all have mama issues. I think that the albums that came out that year were pretty good. Like, I mean, I gotta say. And After the Storm was a song that got me through the storm. No way, that's my dream. Me and Callie are gonna be homegirls. You wait and see. Watch. There's gonna be a day that I'll have my live and her and I are gonna be together and be like, I told them that she was gonna be my homie. No, but I love like her vibe, because think about it. Callie is very to herself. She looks like she has like a stank eye, but she just don't bullshit. She's gonna say how it is. And please don't ask me about no bullshit. ¿Cómo dice? Aquí estoy acelerando corazones y despertando envidias. Hell yeah. And any day that you guys wake up feeling like dirty inside and just feeling like, you know what? Today I'm not feeling my best. A huevo que hablo español. Hasta te canto en español si quieres ir ahorita. Se volvieron locos cuando vieron que ese loco le fue bien. Bet you didn't expect that one, huh? Tú traes un pinche palote atorado en el culo, Soy de puro Sonora, San Luis, Sonora, puro sonorense. Puro yaqui. Ay, mi yaquecita. Ay, mi yaquecita. Y para las fiestas traigo un polvito. Y para un día caliente brinco. Y en una SRT quemándome han de ver una llantita y un gallito. De copiloto un culito. I got my culito here. I didn't. Viva México, cabrones, nata y quesita. Oh, girl. Girl, I'm all about Chalino Sanchez. And I'm old school, man. Like, la neta, this is the song that I've been trying to learn in my 12-string guitar. Because, I mean, puro Sonora, cabrones. And it talks about San Luis, Rio Colorado, Sonora. En un camión pasajero de esos que van pa' Sonora, yo iba cansado y con sueño. San Luis Potosí, tómale. De veras encantadora. También Luis Miguel, pero de los viejitos. Yo llegando a los mochis, llego a los modales. Le pregunté que dónde era. Me dijo que de Nogales. I've never been to Nogales, but I've heard a lot about Nogales. But that song talks about San Luis Rio Colorado, Sonora, so obviously I gotta like it, you know? Representing. And then we gotta have some Gloria Trevi in the mix, because, you know, we were all a little crazy as little kids. This was like the music I was listening to since I was little. Lo dijeron en mi casa y me trajeron casi a rastros. Pues cuando llego de noche. A huevo. No, girl, we gotta go throwback. Throwback. Corro hasta now. And then, of course, my name is Rocio. O sea, Rocio. Obviamente. Who is my name deriving from? Rocio Duran? From Rocio Durcal? What? Of course, she's my señora guilty pleasure. Exacto. Toda mi vida y hasta más. Mira, but we gotta be like upgraded, guys. With some twerk. Hey, hey, hey. A huevo, we gotta, girl, we got to help and represent the lesbianas that were in the closet for so long, like my girl Ana Gabriel and Verónica Rufo. No, Verónica, ¿qué? Castro, pero era Rufo porque andaba con la Rufo, ¿no? And you know what? When it comes to roots, you gotta listen to some Natalia Lafourcade because she hit the spot with this Hasta la Raíz, María la Curandera, Ana Gabriel, girl. Ana Gabriel. Let me just show you this tattoo. That right there isn't representing my grandma. It says, Luna, tú que la ves. Yeah, Ana Gabriel was a lesbian in the closet. She was dating Victoria Verónica Castro. During that time, and Luna was actually for her, Verónica Castro. Cuando escriba tu nombre en la arena blanca con fondo azul, cuando mire cielo, aparezcas tú. That song is also very legit. She wrote it for herself, apparently. I didn't know this. Yo te llevo adentro hasta la raíz. And then, guys, of course, some upgraded shit, because, you know, we overcame the darkness, guys, so you gotta remember who the fuck you are and remember these bitches who the fuck you are. Because I'm a bad bitch and I got a bad anxiety. People call me rude because I didn't let them try me. Saying I'm a hoe because I'm in love with the party. I can't rap too fast, guys. My ADHD doesn't let me. And tú que la ves in the concert, girl, watch one of the performances. Y luego pues a huevo. ¿Empezamos entonces o cómo? Para hablar de cartoncito. Y luego que me quebre paz. Hell yeah, man. I got Cardi B inside of me. Got a little Jenny with some little Gloria Trevi. I don't know. I guess I rhyme. It's the ADHD. But, guys, we're getting back to business. Gotta be serious here. Aunque ya no estás conmigo. Damn, I want a shot now. So, thank you so much. Honestly, guys, anytime that you guys want to join, or if you guys want to just come, like, share a perspective, or simply if you guys want to let me know that there's a topic you guys wanted me to talk about, I am all for it, because I'll say it for you guys. I am being cringe here so that you guys are not embarrassed to be yourself, because I have always had to be somebody else, and honestly, it sucks. And this little pin right here that I'm going to put is a Discord page. If you guys join my fan club or my super fan club, I'm not sure if it's there. But if you guys join, that's going to be a little space where you guys can just chit chat, be yourselves, and know that nobody's going to judge you. Come with all your mistakes, guys. We're all fucking full of scars. I got a cut right here. Yes, my wife is here with me. This is my gorgeous Linda. Listen, Linda, come here. Her name's Linda and she doesn't listen. Listen, Linda. No, I'm kidding. She's very obedient. Yeah, I trained her well. Okay. She's over there rocking cradles because I'm a baby compared to her. Ah, no es cierto. No, she's not smoking. She was smoking a vape. Maybe. I don't know. No, she wasn't. Is that okay? She is. She's a sweetheart. And you know what? Here I am telling you guys to build your securities and all this stuff. And I've been trying to do this with her because the other day I had to hit her. No, I'm kidding. She just wouldn't get the fucking point. No.
And then I liked it.
Yes, go ahead and join. Right, I'm barely starting to grow it, guys. It's like literally myself, and I that is trying to do all this. Linda, of course, is being extremely supportive, and I just want you guys to have a space to vent because be yourselves. Because you know what, my grandpa used to say, or he said to us when we came out as gay, my cousin and I, my uncle and I, that whenever we go out into the world, we're out there just fucking. We're out there exposed to everything and everyone. And that when we come home, we should be able to be safe in our space. I don't know how to use the link. Okay, my thingy is gonna be Chio, CHIO _ Figaro. How my username is. Let me write that down because it's probably easier. And honestly, guys, I've been wanting to do karaoke, and we sometimes do like.
We just need to get shots.
Yeah, we're gonna get shots. I need to get shots. I need to get shots. Yes, like I usually have. I'm all about like. I'm all about get. If you guys have any questions too, I am all about letting you be yourself, guys. So. I think we all have something to say. There's a lot of truth in families that is being kept in the dark, and that it needs to come out because that literally shapes us. And I feel like a lot of the new generation is very aware of those things. And as we're healing, like we should be aware that we don't want to pass that on to anybody else. And it's understandable that your parents are not gonna change or whatever, but that doesn't mean you don't have to have boundaries for yourself. Because if you have conditional boundaries, like, think about it, guys. Nobody was there when you were going through the hard situation. Okay? In my situation, I thought everybody knew, but they didn't. And I just got angry. I grew up angry. And I was reflecting it onto anyone because I didn't know what I was feeling. My feelings were too intense. Yes, send me your DM. Or DM me your thing and I'll invite you. I'm new at this too, guys, so I'm so sorry. But think about it, guys. Nobody was there to tell you like, hey, mijo, like, be careful because this is this, or I don't know, like, simply the fact that nobody was there to explain to you what was happening to you. That alone, it should say a lot. It should say a lot because, what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to show up for you guys the way that I need somebody to show up for me at that time. And if you think about it, guys, we all meet reflections of ourselves. The people you run across or you meet, they're all a mirror. And the things that you dislike in others is not necessarily because you can't stand it. It's either that person had the nerve to do it, or you told yourself that you weren't allowed to deserve that. And you gotta stop thinking like that. Females, not you zoning out. Oh yeah, I'm always zoning out. Damn, I've been exposed. I'm 36, and my wife she's 39. You're 39? It's like, wait a minute. She's, a mí me gustan mayores. Es cierto. But yeah, guys, it's crazy. Like, you guys need to speak up. We all have the truth to speak up, and if people aren't mad, then you need to go harder. You can't let them think they're the same as you. That's what Megan said. Victoria Mojica. So, guys, being awake is actually a lot harder. We are. We are, guys, and we are all reflection of ourselves. Like, has it in Hispanic culture is very common that they say, "Ay, si comes mucho chilo, your kid's gonna come out todo greñudo," or some shit like that, right? Or, oh, the dad must have been like, you probably hated the dad because the baby came out looking just like the dad. Yes, from the system. From a system that we create ourselves, technically, because it's not just in the system of the government, but it's in religion as well, where you are given this idea that you have no authority. That in order for you to have some sort of authority, you need to ask for permission from the pastor, from the acceptance from everybody else. But in reality, the relationship that you have with God or the Creator, whatever it is that you believe in, is between you and that person. I mean, between you and that essence. Why? Because nobody's in your head. Nobody knows the things you tell yourself. Nobody knows the things you do behind closed doors when there's nobody around. Only He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. It's kind of creepy, but it's the truth, guys. So whatever deal you make with Him is between you and Him. But know that when He came down here and He was given to us by God as His most prized possession and said, "Here you go, learn from Him," He was coming to teach us how to use our powers, the powers that are a reflection of Him in us. Why? Because we can also be as conscious as He was and turn water into wine. But we choose not to. Why? Because we are always searching externally. You can't control somebody that's conscious, okay? When you are conscious, or when you are more aware of your actions, you stop performing in versions that other people want you to perform in. There's signs that you start to see that it's not just information, but it's like an invitation. Like every single thing that is putting out in the direction of a decision that you already needed to make, but you needed to be finding, or you need to look for reasons which caused the delay, right? Well, no. The real practice is not collecting spiritual knowledge. It is literally having the courage to act on what you already know. Mary Magdalene was the closest apostle to Jesus because she was the spiritual connection for us. When God sent us Jesus for Him to die on the cross, Jesus was actually showing us how we come to God. All those scars, all that cross that He was carrying, that's all your guilt, all your shame that you carry, and that people have power over you for, because you can't face it yourself. So what happens when somebody tells you that you're a loser? You start to react because you react uncontrollably for something so small. Why? Because you're already telling yourself that. But now people are confirming it. The external acceptance that you made yourself think it was worthy or necessary to have. When you honestly don't give a fuck about what people think, you act like I do. You start to sing whenever you want. You make a song whenever you want something instead of asking for it with normal words. And then you start calling out people for their bullshit. Your circle might be smaller. You may not have a lot of friends. But you know what? There's not that much drama anymore. Shit, I try to make drama to make my life exciting. Because it's like, I don't participate in being drained from other people's unhealed pain. Because that's all it is. When somebody's coming at you, that's because they didn't know how to behave, or maybe they had chaos in their house. It tells you a lot about the person more than they want to make you seem, or the fear that they're trying to, put upon you. So knowing almost how everything arrives, there's that gap that where you're willing to do, and the gap where the old pattern still lives and it keeps you from moving, right? So in 2026, today actually, there was a story that came out where the U.S. Secretary of Defense met with the CEO of Anthropic, right? Which is Claude AI. And it's the company, or Claude AI is one of the best revolutionary AIs out there. Why? Because it can build, it can code, it can create a whole web page for you. It can create, it doesn't create images like Gemini, but it's one of the top ones. And it actually overthrew ChatGPT. And it continues to be developing, right? So there's two restrictions that are simple, right? Which is a human must remain in the decision chain before autonomous lethal action is taken, meaning that this AI cannot be used for mass domestic surveillance under anybody. And it also says that the demand that they made was to both, or why they met in the U.S., why they met with the CEO of Anthropic was because there was a mass decision that a demand more than anything, that they wanted to remove this from him. They wanted to take the human out of the kill decision, and they wanted to allow AI to watch America's population without restriction. They wanted to allow us to be surveilled. And most people are going to read the political side of it, right? That there's a national security debate. But it isn't that, guys. It's none of those things. The core of it is that it is the oldest spiritual confrontation in human history, guys. This is where it gets interesting and where I'm going to stop bullshitting because you guys need to listen to this, okay? The battle between humans and sovereignty and systems that require human helplessness to function, guys, is happening right now. Like, seriously, every suppressed spiritual tradition, every mystic who was silenced, every text that was burned, every teacher that was labeled as being a traitor, dangerous, or anything, they were all at their root, guys. They were all at their prime saying the same thing, which is what makes something powerful, guys, what makes the powerful systems nervous, guys, it is not the need for us to access the truth, because you already carry that. It is the fact that your consciousness is suffering, meaning it cannot be owned by anyone. So if it cannot be taken away from you, what is the best way to approach it? Well, I'm going to keep it suppressed, right? That is insane because I blew myself away with this. So the moment, guys, they are trying to take away the decision making from you. We have that one thing, like, think about it. All of our actions are based on decisions. All of our actions are based on you deciding to do something. It's not based on anybody else because you are the one who's in charge of your choice. But technically, we grow up in a society where we're always looking for a permission from everybody else. But you're a grown-up. You don't need permission. You can eat ice cream at night if you want. So, when you remove the human from the decision, guys, you have nothing more than a policy. A military policy at that. You have a philosophical declaration about human beings, or about how human beings, or what human beings are. Your judgment, your consciousness, your moral disconnect or discernment, these are interferences between you and or let's name them obstacles between you and their policy. Why? Because we can do this without, we can do this better without you in the loop. Let's think about it. Population already has distrust in our own internal knowledge. Don't we all it's so easy to believe what somebody says on the news, but yet it's so hard for us to listen to it. Or to say, what? I can do this with my hands? Bullshit. But you're going to believe the orange telling you that it's the Kung Flu. Give me a second, guys. I'm just cleaning my glasses. My mama's here, so I got to make sure I do good. Let me fix my hair. Because then she says que no está greñudo. So guys, our population or our society is already conditioned to distrust our own internal knowledge, right? We're always looking for that external authority and approval. And we doubt our own perception and our own capability all the time. We barely even notice when it happens. We don't even realize it, that we deny it. We are so firm into believing that this kid is crazy because they want what's best for me. That's what they told me, and I'm going to believe that. Bullshit. They don't. And we barely notice it because it feels like progress, guys. That's how they're selling it to us. It's going to make us feel like we're taking a natural step, but we're not. What we're actually doing is actually what happens every single time throughout history, guys. What does she want? The connection that everybody's almost missing and that is explicit enough is that the reason humanity is at risk of sleepwalking into a world where AI makes anonymous, lethal decisions and surveils our own citizens, guys. Like, you have no privacy. There's no oversight, and the exact same reason why most individuals are sleepwalking through their lives, just repeating old cycles. Because you're just running on old patterns. You're not even thinking for yourself. Unconsciousness is what it is. It's not stupidity, it's not weakness, it's just unconsciousness. You're in denial. The state of moving through life is automatic, guys. So trusting whatever is loudest, following whatever has always been in front of you, never stopping long enough to really ask enough questions, that changes everything, guys. Who decided it was true, Evan? How come we are only believing one thing? How come we're all set to believe in this Bible that we are all very aware of, that has several fucking missing books? I wasn't there. How am I going to believe what Peter Pumpkin Eater said? Who tells me I can write a story and then put it in a jar? 1,000 years later, they're going to hear it. Who tells them that it's true? I can get a group of people and say to write the same thing. I'm going to go and experience it myself, guys. So the spiritual work, the real work, is the process of becoming conscious, guys. Of pulling that inherited belief that was automatic, those automatic patterns that you carry from your DNA, or that outsourced authority that you're trying to get approval of, and truly ask yourself, what deserves to be there? Is this mine? Or is this something that I had no choice but to learn and accept? Is it your story that you've been living? Or is it something that was handed to you before you could even make a decision? And is it uncomfortable? Because I'm going to tell you right now, that process alone is uncomfortable. So if you're uncomfortable, then go for it, baby girl. Then you're on the right spot. You're on track. It's isolating. And it doesn't come with a guarantee that anything big is going to come afterwards. But think about it. The only thing is that you're never going to be misled from that same idea as you were before. Then now you're going to be the one who has answers instead of questions. Then now you can identify the different versions of you, because they're not going to be what are they called? Doppelgangers? They're not going to look just like you. Doppelgangers? I don't know what they're called, but the people that look like you. They're not going to be a little twin, okay? They're just different parts of your soul, of your essence, in different timelines that made different decisions from one you're living now. A conscious person can't be surveilled into compliance, guys. Why? Because we're already watching ourselves. We're already trying to be compliant ourselves. A conscious person can't be manipulated through fear. Why? Because we've already sat with all our fears, all our mistakes, and we face them. And look, we're still here. I face my fears and I'm still here. So trust the queer to tell you that there's no need to fear. I don't know. A conscious person, guys, can't have their authority outsourced to anyone, because they already did the work. They already gained their authority. They did all this shit so that they can say no and set boundaries and piss people off, because you know what? That's our purpose. God sent us to piss the world off. And think about it, guys. This is why consciousness is the answer to iRobot. Do you guys remember that movie? Of course. Thank you for watching. thank you for watching. Really appreciate the support. Anytime you're able to jump in, I'll be here. Anytime you feel like venting, we'll be here too. But guys, consciousness is the answer to the iRobot problem. It wasn't the machines that they were a problem. No. Not legislation alone. It was the fact that there was an awakened population that trusts in its own knowing enough to recognize, guys, that there is something external that is asking for it to stop trusting and to stop believing in themselves. What the fuck of an idea is that? What the fuckery is that, guys? I want to know. Because, that's nonsense. Sorry, guys, I was checking something out. Alright, so the signs that we've been waiting for, guys. Oh my god, my phone is about to die, but you know what? I love you guys. The signs that you're waiting for is pretty much this: when you feel like the structure doesn't fit, your inability to grow and to stop, and your inability to pretend like everything is okay. Can you connect this one? That alone should tell you that it's not your imagination and it's not something that you're thinking for yourself. I love you guys. I'm sorry my phone's about to die, so I don't want to cut you guys off. I will be on later and finish this conversation with you guys. Thank you for jumping on, for sharing, for caring. I love you guys. Be safe. Have an amazing couple hours, because I'm going to be back later. And I'm going to tell you guys some more.